Friends, how you doing? So here we are, 9/11. Um, I got like these notes, just scribbles on the page of things that I want to talk about. And one of the things that I just keep seeing over and over, right? It's almost like there's some rule within this thing. And believe me, this really is all about Satan and God, good and evil, man. 100%. And I'm really starting to believe that this actually is Satan, if you want to call it, Satan's world. I'm really starting to believe that, anyways. And I don't know, it's pretty fucking scary. Anyways, what I'm seeing is it seems like there's a rule where they always have to tell you what they're doing. I want to give credit to Odd TV. He made a video basically showing in chronological order a lot of predictive programming throughout the years, all shows and movies that you and I have all seen. It's always been right there in our faces. I mean, some of it is so literal. It's like, especially the kids shows, right? It's so literal. It's like, wow, but they knew the parents aren't watching. Crazy. But it led me, I'm watching the video, and at one point they show St. John's Cathedral. They show a little snapshot, and if you guys don't know what that is or what's there, just go on and look at St. John's Cathedral pictures. Look at those pictures and zoom in, okay? It's absolutely insane. Okay, there's like columns built into the building, right? And up on top of those columns, there's all these depictions. There's depictions of the Brooklyn Bridge. I believe if it's not the Brooklyn Bridge, it's one of the other bridges. I think it's the Brooklyn Bridge with the Statue of Liberty, and the Brooklyn Bridge is broken. There's literally, like, in stone, like marble stone, like cars, it just shows like all this chaos with cars, and just, you have to look at it. They show another one where it just looks like destruction of the city, and the Twin Towers. The Twin Towers are actually like sticking out of this sculpture, and a few other buildings. Like, it's just, you have to look at it. I can't even explain it. But don't just look at that. Like there's all four columns. All four columns have some crazy shit. They also have like what looks like it's like a child being birthed. It's a head coming out of what looks like a lotus flower. I believe it's the birth of the Antichrist. This is, again, St. John's Cathedral in New York City. Unbelievable, the stuff that is actually like etched in stone and carved in stone there. Like, you just have to look at it. That's all I can say. And zoom in on some of them pictures. On one of them, it literally looks like Abraham Lincoln is behind bars, but somebody on this sculpture is behind bars. There's actual bars out of stone, like, three-dimensional. It's insane. It's insane stonework. Like, whoever did the work, it's, for lack of better words, beautiful, beautiful stonework depicting this horrible, horrible things. So just get on Google, anywhere, and just look at St. John's Cathedral. Blow your fucking mind, basically they do these things, like Pearl Harbor, and then the 9/11 thing, to get everybody waving flags so that they can invade countries. Bottom line. So that they can do whatever they want. And all I'm saying is, they're going to continue to do whatever they want. I honestly don't think that we can stop it. I think it's more about just having the knowledge in your head and appreciating every day that you have, I guess. Making the most out of your time and Not dwelling on petty things. I just can't believe how many things have been right there in our faces. And when I was a kid, I had a friend who lived right, behind my house, and I used to, uh, you go spend the night at your friend's house on a Saturday night or whatever. And the next day, they'd go to Sunday school. They were Christians, and I'd go with them, And, I just remember how much fun like Sunday school was versus the older kids that had to go into church and sit in church for hours. But that's not the point. What I'm saying is, my friend's mother, she wouldn't let them have HBO. She was just like, she's like, there is so much evil on the TV, and we used to kind of laugh at her a little bit because it's like you don't see it, and when you do see it, it's just it's like they parody it. It's like it gets made light of, Yeah, I don't know. I feel that I've already, I'm far enough in this truth thing where it's like we have this realization that it's not that we're powerless. It's just that if we don't very soon, take hold of the direction of where we're going, I think that they got that female that's running for president that's always unhealthy looking in front of everybody, coughing and all that, and like, I hope nothing happens to to Donald Trump or whatever. Like, I could just see a scenario where something happened to him, and then she couldn't take the presidential oath or whatever because of health reasons, and then Obama stays in or something. I mean, it's just that's something that people on the web are speculating about. That's not necessarily what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to go on like this for a number of years. I think this is just the very beginning of what's to come. And I'm not going to lie, who do you think that they'd be rounding up first, once they have the legal ability to do that? Probably the people that are making the most noise about it. So, I'll just say on YouTube, I will never commit suicide. Never. And, I won't just disappear, without saying goodbye or whatever, to friends and stuff. Like, if I got my spaceship fixed and I put my tinfoil hat on and zoomed out over to frickin' Pluto, where it's warm. But, I don't know. I'd say it's been fun, but it's like part of me feels like everything's gonna come to a head at any moment, but then a whole nother part of me feels like it's just gonna go on like this, y'all. You gotta remember too, these people, they have plans in place that are centuries old, literally. And they're very patient indeed. They tell you stories about Egyptian slaves or whatever building pyramids, and how now in some narratives they'll tell you that they built the pyramids within 20 years, and then there's other narratives that say it took generations. Could you imagine being on a building project that literally is not going to be finished in your lifetime? I mean, that's some dedication, You have kids so that they can continue building whatever the fuck it is. And if I don't know, I always had a hard time buying the fact that it's like they do this for a pharaoh, for one person. Like, they'd be like, man, You know, down at the quarry, they're like, "Are you kidding me? This son of a bitch wants a fucking 20-ton stone now." You know what I mean? But if you look at where we're headed, that's exactly what's going on. That's exactly it. Pharaohs, kings, we're coming full circle, just like the snake that's eating its tail. Why do you think somebody came up with the snake that's eating its tail? We're going full circle. And it's scary. Like, you know? So no matter what, some of their programming has worked on me at least, because, you know, I have a fucking general concern for everybody. I see us getting fooled, getting lied to, and it's sad. It's very sad. You know, and what's crazy is how dumb they've made us, because this stuff has been right in our faces. Alright, so those of you that look at some of this, and like I said, go over to Odd TV, right, and check out, it says Jewish lightning. I don't even know what that is. They don't even talk about Jewish lightning or whatever, I don't think. I have no idea what that is. But what it does show is a whole ton of TV shows and videos, you know, movies, that have all this 9/11 predictive programming in it, and like, it's not a coincidence. It, you know. But yeah, so that's where we're at. I hate feeling like there's nothing can be done, you know. But when you really look into it, and you find out that it's a group that it's thousands of years old. Thousands of years. Just think, there's only one group right now that can claim being 1,000 years old. And I've said it before in my videos, there's only one man, supposedly, that's infallible and unquestionable. Why do you think that they, oh God, what did they imprisoned Gandhi, right? And that's why they made Japan surrender, because, see, people in Japan believed the emperor was divine. But they surrendered, right? They demanded the surrender in World War II. So how could he be divine if he surrendered? Right? And then, what was it, the Dalai Lama that was kidnapped? Jeez, I'm definitely mixing these up. But my point is, these other people who are supposedly divine, just like the Catholic Pope, right? Supposedly divine, you know, unquestionable, infallible, you know. We make sure that their people see that they're not unquestionable and infallible, and that they're not divine, by imprisoning them or killing them. And I hate it, because it's like, I don't want to feel like I'm doing what I'm doing for nothing, because, you know, I mean, I literally have totally put myself out here with this. I'm actually a real person, and that bothers me now, because I'm like, how many people really are real? I know there's plenty of you out there that are, and a lot of us were into this long before the flat earth came along, and myself as one. I mean, I just, when it came along, like, or when it kept popping up, you know, I just didn't want to look at it. It was just, you know, I figured it was like spam, kind of, you know, just hollow earth theory type stuff. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I finally looked at it, and it's like, it really does tie everything else together, and you're like, oh my God. You know, it's like, it floors you, you know, when you realize they basically have taken our ability to prosper, right? That's kind of what it is, you know. Keep them stupid, keep them just smart enough to run the machines and freaking pump the gas or whatever, but they ain't never gonna move up by hard work and diligence. You know, I mean, I remember I worked for a company in Florida. Just an example, there was a man there, he was an Italian guy. The guy was old, he was literally gonna retire from construction, you know, getting to the right age. This company, which was huge, because I remember, because we were building the boss's house, which was just, you know, like the houses I build now in Nantucket, you know. I build for the people that we hate. You understand? Nantucket has probably got plenty of these people that I'm talking about. I don't know who, I don't know, but I mean, billionaires live here. What they say here is millionaires mow the lawns of billionaires, and that's absolutely true. You know? But it's just like, it's insane. It's insane when you realize how big it is. Blow your mind. You know, and it's impossible to really explain it to somebody, especially like when I talk to people, I leave out the Satanist stuff. I leave out the freaking the bloodletting and the child sacrifices and the missing kids and I leave that stuff out. You know, when I'm trying to coax somebody into this, you know, the lies. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make this part 1 of my 9/11 video. I just am completely blown away. Like, the way that they will tell you. See, it's what they do, and it's genius, because there are rules. Somehow there are rules within this. We don't know them, but there are rules, because it seems like the rule of free will is in fact true. Okay, so it's ingenious what they do, because they make you want to do what they want you to do. If that makes sense, right? They make it your choice, so you do it of your own free will. I went to concerts for years, and I did this at concerts. Why? Because everybody else was doing it. You know? Everybody else was doing it. Take a look at that freaking graduation ceremony where our president, current president now, was there. He was in a cap and gown, and they were like, Zot, Zot, Zot. And then somebody says, okay, let's do it again, and I want to shake the rafters this time. And they're all like, Zot, Zot, Zot. I don't know what that is, but it sounds like a chant to me. It sounds like some sort of a casting a spell, maybe, on a group of people. I don't know. I don't know what's possible, but I believe there's a lot of things that are possible. And they know. We don't know, but they do. They do. They know. And they use that shit against us. That's why they do things on certain days. I want you guys to head over to Chris Fisk. But I think his site now is Fisk Isco or something like that. But if you look, Chris Fisk, okay? He just put up a video about 9/23/239. These numbers, 23, believe it or not, like the movie 23, that number is involved in this. They do use it, you know. Take a look at the video that I posted the other day. I got my hands on a Masonic book at a yard sale. You know, I don't think the lady knew what it was, but I looked at it, I was like, whoa, what is this, right? I'm looking through it. It says the book is a ritual, and just go over and take a look. You know, it's like I feel like taking it down, I mean, almost, because I'm like, Jesus, you know, should I even do this? Should I even do this anymore? Does it even matter? Am I making a difference at all? You know, I mean, I know I'm talking to all you guys that know me, and it seems like, you know, that's really about it. It's like, so honestly, I kind of I don't know. I don't know what else to say anymore. And I just wish there was another step. I wish there was a second step where we were all organizing together, and not to do anything fucking bad, except maybe find a place to live that could be ours, where we could be sovereign, you know? But it's like, you know, all we would really need is a water supply, right? A nice, decent water supply, from either from the ground or a river, and we could do everything else on our own, solar and everything else, as long as they promise to leave us alone, right? I mean, it's just an idea, but it's like I actually had it in a dream. I had a dream that we all somehow got together and decided, you know, there was a certain piece of land, because there's a piece of land that NASA bought, right? It's in somewhere like Georgia or Tennessee or something like that. I'll have to look. But NASA bought a whole chunk of land, and what they did is they took these huge horns and they were like, "Wah!" They blasted them to see how far the sound would go, and they said that, then they ran white noise through it, and they said this will simulate the sound of rockets taking off. So we want to see who can hear it in what range, and then we're gonna go buy your house so that we can have all this land. That's what I'm saying. So since NASA has stolen so much from us, right? Then why not we make some sort of a deal where we call them out on their bullshit, they give us that land that they bought, and we can live there, I mean, and they leave us alone. We'll be totally self-sufficient, but they can't come and cut off our water supply from fucking further up the river or some shit like that. Like literally though, like, what's wrong with that though? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? With an idea like that? And it's just an idea. I had a dream. It's just, but these are where my mind's going. It's like, what's the second step? You know, I mean, it would make sense, like, if people who just didn't want anything to do with this, literally, it's like, I'm born into this shit. Are you kidding me? Really? With the social security number and everything, and I'm registered like a number? I'm born as a number? Well, I ain't a fucking number. I'm not a number. What if I just want my own life somewhere where, hey, maybe I just take care of myself, you know? Seriously, as long as I had water, if I had water, I could grow food, you know? And it's like, you can do things. Solar, you can use solar power. I'm fucking doing that shit right now. I got solar panels and shit, little solar panels and shit. I'm doing that shit right now. I'm building a fucking cell phone charger that runs on the sun, right? There are ways. And you know what? It's a lot fucking easier than they would have you believe. Electricity and electronics. You just gotta read. You gotta read some books. But anyways, you know, this is my 9/11. What's up to everybody, and you know what I think's going on. What I think is going on, literally, they're getting everything they want. Things are going exactly as they planned. Take a look at the fucking Illuminati card game, for Christ's sakes. Just, oh. Anyways, peace.